Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. This is a Dharma Yoga all levels practice, so there will be variations for those who are more seasoned practitioners. If you feel apt to do the variations and you're familiar and comfortable with them, then you may, of course. If not, then please modify according to your conditions and please respect your limitations. So on that note, let's begin. So let's find your way into a comfortable seat, sitting tall and supreme. Close the eyes. Bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything you need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. God, you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for that knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So now let's do the mantra for purification. If you know it, you can do it along with me. If not, just imagine you're chanting it through the voice of the Guru and you derive all the benefits of the purification of the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. Try to do each one in a single breath. We do it 3 times. And try to do it with conviction and loud enough so it can be heard by both the inner bodies and the gross bodies all around us. Om pavitraha pavitra va sawa vashtanga topi va yaha smarit pandrikaksham sabaya bihantraha sachihi. Om pavitraha pavitra va sawa vashtanga topi va yaha smarit pandrikaksham sabaya bihantraha sachihi. Om pavitraha pavitra va sawa vashtanga topi va yaha smarit pandrikaksham sabaya bihantraha sachihi. So now we're going to do color breathing or sound breathing. And in this breathing technique, imagine we're doing visualizations as well. This has the effect also of pranic of healing. So when you bring your attention to a certain area with an intention of healing, that manifests. So we're just going to concentrate in different areas of the body, and then we're going to picture color at the same time. Direct all your intentions and your attention to that area and to the healing effect. Bring the healing effect to all beings, including yourself. So we'll start. Imagine you're just breaking up the Om in all its different colors. They say that Om is the mantra, the ultimate mantra that contains all the colors and sounds and vibrations of the universe. So imagine you're just breaking it up into those constituents and just concentrating those effects of those each individual constituents. So start at the lower part of the body, the lower 3 chakras, at the root, the sacral area, and the navel. The color is red. The sound is ah, and you just allow the sound to be carried on the breath. Take a deep breath in. Now move up to the heart region. The color is green. The sound is you. A little bit of a higher pitch this time. Inhale. Go now to the base of the throat. The color is blue. The sound is so. May all the words that come out of the throat always be ones of loving kindness and compassion. Inhale. So. Bring the attention now to the space between the eyebrows, the center of the forebrow. Color is indigo. The sound is sun, S-U-N. And with this, imagine that the vibrations produced by, especially the last part of the sound, this N part, produces vibrations that will dislodge all the impurities from wherever they're sitting in a body. And then out into the bloodstream and out of the body eventually. Sun, indigo. Take a deep breath in. Sun. Now the crown. Sound is sum, S-U-M. And again, you concentrate on the vibrations produced by the M part of the sound, the humming, in order to promote mental sharpness and clarity. The color is violet at the crown now. Inhale. Sam. Take a moment to just feel the vibrations lingering, feel their effects still coming. Imagine all those benefits that you feel, that you derive from this, are going out to all beings everywhere. The true nature of the self is formless, immutable, stainless, and pure. True nature of the self is that of God, because God is pure, stainless, immutable, infinite. And through the practice, we try to see that in all beings through imitation of their forms and seeing them as just different ways that God's beauty and magnificent manifests in such a beautiful, unique way in every being. So now through the practice, let's revere all beings by imitating them and think of imitation as the highest form of reverence and respect. So now just take a moment to just rest your mind on the infinite again. See all the infinite possibilities of all the magnificent and beautiful ways that God's grace and wisdom and love is reflected in all beings. Open up your heart space to fit all beings within. Hold all beings in your heart with love, with compassion, respect. Now, let's begin the practice. So now let's come to standing. So we're going to start off with a visualization technique in order to help establish a deeper connection with the divine essence within. Stand with your feet about 10 inches apart. Bring your arms up with the palms slightly turned up. From the fingertips, inhale down through the arms and into the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4. Draw on the best universe. 6, 7, 8. Pull it right to the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. That's the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the fingertips. Just the breath leaves, everything that pulls and stays in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. Pull in everything that you need. Down through the arms and into the heart. Bring it in with the inhale. Then holding it all in the heart as an offering to God and therefore to all beings. Exhale out through the arms again, just the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again, down from the fingertips, in through the arms into the heart. Use your attention to attract everything you need. Place it all in the spiritual heart. Again, imagine it all going to God and therefore to all beings. But God is equally present in all. Exhale out through the arms again, just the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then bring the arms down and we'll continue with the exercise to prepare the body for the practice. Pretend you're the witness watching the body move all by itself. We'll start to turn from side to side now. Feel as though the arms are heavy ropes. Now those ropes just hit the body. Throw them around. down. And then bring the hands onto the hips. Circle the head. Feel as though the head were very heavy, rolling around its pivot point. It can't even stay on the top of the neck. It just rolls from one side to the other, front and back. And then switch the direction of rotation. Try to bring the ears all the way to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. And break. Left arm swings forward. This is not the left. The right arm swings forward 4 times. And then backwards. Forward again. And then back. And then the other arm, left arm, forward. And back. Feel as though you're holding a 5-pound weight in your hand. Forward again. And back. And release. Now bring your arms up over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbows. Work your waist. Bend to your left. Go to the other side. Try not to make folds in the underside of the body, in the waist area. And then to the left again. Go to the right. Come up, go back. Push the hips forward and the chest up. And go forward, round the back. Push the arms into the back of the head. Send the chin into the chest and back again. Push the shoulders back and then forward. Come up. Good. Now from here, release the arms. Next one's called Breath of Joy. So you have to do it with enthusiasm to make it live up to the name. First 3 movements on the inhale, last one on an exhale. Looks like this. Join me. Keep the body erect as you do the first 3 movements. And one more. And just allow the body to stay hanging down there as you stop shaking. And then roll your way back up. Now, I'm going to take the arms out to the side. If you need, you can hold on to a wall, place your hand on the wall, or hang on to your chair and swing the right leg back and forth, just loosening up the hip. Try to get the knee right to the shoulder. Throw the leg back so you're trying to kick yourself in the head from behind. But do it mindfully, of course. Slow it down if you need to. And then the other foot. So again, you can turn around and place your hand on the wall again or a chair. Try to get the knee right to the shoulder. And release. Good. So one more. Bring your arms up over the head. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Lift up off the heels. And come back down on the heels, rock back on the heels, lift the toes and come up onto, push them to the roots of your toes, come up and back down on the heels, rise up, lengthen the navel, come down and hollow it out, inhale, come up and down. This time, as you come up, stay up. Really push into the roots of your toes, engage your legs. Push up through the heels, your palms like you're trying to push the ceiling right through the roof. Lower down and release. So let's come to the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart, close the eyes. Renounce all the fruits of the practice. Imagine this as your divine duty to all beings everywhere. Let go of all expectations and all attachments to the results. Just do the practice because it must be done. Surya Namaskar. Raise your arms up over the head. Press hips forward, arch back as you see fit. Then bend your knees if you need to. As you come down, putting your hands on the ground, chest on the thighs. Right foot back into lunge. Knee down, sink down to the seat. Lift the chest. Bring the head up. Come into high plank. Lower down the knees and bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward, pull at the floor with your hands, and come forward. Chest rises, head goes back. Come all the way back, the seat behind the heels again. Come forward again. Glide forward smoothly. Brush your nose to the ground. Lift the head. Open up the chest. Form a C shape with your spine. Come all the way back again. Glide forward smoothly. Watch the body moving. Lights off. Pretend you're the witness. Roll over your toes. Back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Melt the heart. Then bring the right foot forward to the hands. If this is difficult, you can lower the knee down. If the foot doesn't make it all the way, just use your right hand to assist the foot forward. Now sink down to the seats, look up. Bring the feet back together now. Chest on the thighs, head down. Right up to standing, reach the arms up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Lift up again. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that feels natural and comfortable. Just move the body, the breath will follow. Figure out what to do and deliver more ease and grace into the movements. Left foot back, sink down to the seat, into the plank. Again, lower the knees, the seat all the way back behind the heels. We'll come forward 3 times. Glide forward. Open up the front of the throat. Try not to jam up the back of the neck, the lower back. All the way back. Come forward. Telescope the trunk and the hips, the neck and the shoulders. Bring the head back. One more time. Bring the seat all the way back and glide forward. Pull with your arms. Come up smoothly into the cobra. Roll over your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Allow the heart to melt between the shoulder blades, the head to come down below the arms. Then the left foot steps forward to the hands. Sink down to the seats. Use your modifications as you need to. The feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Raise the arms up. Go down gracefully, like you're bowing. Adjust your humbleness. Right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Into the plank. Lower down, knees, chest, forehead to the ground. Glide through. Connect the movements together seamlessly. Back into downward facing dog. Imagine this as your divine dance of devotion. Right foot forward. Every pose, every movement, an offering. An expression of love. Bring the left foot in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. And up again. So don't worry about the results. It's the effort that counts. Remember, the intention of an offering is to just give the best of your best. Left foot back, lower down the knees, sink down to the seat. Come into high plank, lower down. All the movements done with mindfulness, consciousness, and reverence. Take the head up and back. Downward facing dog. Remember, you're imitating all the forms, copying them on all levels, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And spiritually, you find again the grace and beauty of God in all the forms. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Always coming back to the source of divine love. Reach up and go down. Uttanasana. From here, bring the right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Inhale, adding in a little bit movements, more movements. Raise your arms up, sink the seat, circle the arms down, allow the head to fall back. Inhale, come up again. Use your arms to pull your torso further up out of the hips, lengthen the spine. Again, allow the head to fall back, lean it back away from the leg. In front, inhale, come up. Push your seat all the way forward and down towards your front heel. Lean away from the leg, circle the arms down. Expression of open yourself up to divine grace. Back into high plank, knees, chest, forehead down. Glide forward into the cobra. Open up through the chest. Downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. And then the right foot steps forward to the hands. Left knee down. Sink down to the seat. Inhale, come up. Imagine your arms are starting right at the hip joints. So you can pull. You have the ability to pull the torso further up. Lengthen. Exhale, sink down. Allow the head to fall back if you feel comfortable. And one more time. Inhale, come up. Sink down to the seat. And circle the arms down. Place your hands on either side of the right foot and drag the left foot in to meet it. From here, Uttanasana, pull the body against the legs. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Again, raise your arms up. Lift the chest, bring the hips forward. Engage your buttocks and your upper back as you do the back bend to help you support you in the pose. Into Uttanasana now. Left foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Inhale, rise up. Turn to the right, circle the arms down. Inhale again, come up. Fluid movements, just like you're watching yourself, your body move in the dream. Always soft movements. Never any jerky motions or any hard aggressive movements or any loud noises. So try to move in a way that doesn't jar the witness or agitate the witness. Into high plank, Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, forehead down. Come right through into the Cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Push the seat up and back, and then send the left foot forward quietly between the hands. Lower the knee down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn to your left. And again, reach up. Exhale, open up to your left. One more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, feel like a shapeshifter moving between the forms effortlessly. All the forms merging together into one divine supreme consciousness. Uttanasana, that of God's, of course. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Bring it back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. Go down. Now from here, bend your knees, bring your chest on your thighs, join hands behind the back. Scooch the chest further forward towards the knees and use the body to push the legs back. If you have the flexibility, you might be able to get your legs straight, your body pressing, the whole body pressing against the fronts of the legs, forehead to the shins. If your belly starts to detach from the legs, keep your knees bent. Keep your belly and your thighs together. Then from here, bring the hands down, right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up, keep your seat forward and low, and bring your arms over the head. If you can, join hands together, Kali Mudra, index fingers together. A mudra that embodies fierceness and fearlessness. Pull the chest up, the head back. And then release, bring the hands back down. Plant into your hands. You can either come back into high plank, if you can, however, raise the left leg up. Come forward into high plank, shoulders over the fingertips, keep your leg up. Now if you have the strength, pull the elbows right into the sides of the body, lower your chest down first. If you need to, you lower your knee down at the same time as the chest is coming down. Slide right into the Cobra, telescope the body out of the hips. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Now from here, you see you can raise your right leg up. And then move your shoulders forward over your fingertips so you can run the foot quietly down between your hands. Lower the knee, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. And then again, pull your arms behind your ears. Kapyasana. If it's too much, you can take your hands just onto your knees and just allow your head to tip back. So again, whatever is suitable for your condition and your abilities and comfort level. And then bring your hands down. You always have to think that what you're feeling is to an extent affecting everybody, including the Lord. So you want to make sure that you're not hurting yourself so you don't hurt anybody in the process. Uttanasana, chest again on the thighs, forehead to the shins. If you can, if your legs are straight, pull the hands over your head. And then release. Bring your arms back over the head. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. We'll do it again on the other side. Raise your arms up. Pull the torso out of the hips, arch back as you see fit, and then come down into a forward fold, a gesture of humbleness. All movements reflecting surrender or humbleness or just opening yourself to divine grace. You can join your hands if you like and see if you can push your body further into your legs. If your legs are straight, the forehead to the shins, the hands over your head. And then release, bring the left foot back. Lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Keep your seat nice and low. Raise your arms up over the head. Pull the torso up out of the hips. Keep your arms straight and pull them back. Just think of the shape of crescent moon. It doesn't have any bends. So just nice smooth curve from point to toe point. And then break the pose. Bring your hands down. Press into your hands, either in plank or raise your right leg up. Come forward into high plank. Shoulders over the fingertips. Glue the elbows to the sides of the body as you come down. Press into loose your toes so that you come down with control. Or modify as you need to. Into cobra. Back into down facing dog. Allow the heart to melt between the shoulder blades. And the left leg comes all the way up and back. If you can, step the foot between the hands. Move the shoulders over the fingertips. Let the foot softly. Lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back. Push your chest up. Every movement, a beautiful expression of love and devotion. Right foot comes in to meet the left, chest on the legs, join the hands, and then pull the body down onto your legs. Pull the hands beyond you, over in front, beyond in front of your head as well if you can, or just up straight. And then from here, release. Release the hands, swing the arms up, hips forward, engage the buttocks. Again, your upper back to support you in a moment of bending back. And then come back to the heart. Good, couple more times. Raise your arms up. Different expression, different variation. Bring your hands down to the ground. Lift the head and chest. Push into your hands. Either hop or walk back into chaturanga. Bend your elbows as you come down so you don't land heavily in a big jarring movement. Now from here, you can either slide to cobra or lift your hips or keep your hips up off the ground as you transition to upward facing dog. Now imagine you have a hinge right at the top of the thighs and then bend your top part of the body back. Without making folds in the lower back, keep pulling the body by the hips. Pretend your dog howling at the moon now. Now roll your toes, round your back into downward facing dog. I'll hear pulse. Try to get your shoulders to melt a little bit, your head to come down below the arms. If you're more flexible, you can try to get your forehead down. Try not to bend the arms. Your forearms will come very low, almost touching. Maybe if you're very flexible, your nose or your chin will come down too. Be like a dog stretching its back. Most importantly, imitate the dog, its loyalty to its master, or body the loyalty to the dog. Then come back up. Lift the head, lift the heels, bend the knees. Bring your feet forward, hopping and walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right to standing, reach up and back. Return home, hands to the heart. One last time. Pull your arms up over the head, reach up and back. Fold down into Uttanasana. Lift the head and chest, press into your hands. Back softly into chaturanga or on your belly. Into your cobra or upward facing dog. Now we're going to oscillate between the two poses if you can. So round your back to the chin and back into downward facing dog. If you need a modification, you need to round your back and then come into your cobra and then come into high cat and to cobra. Okay, so that's a modification. Otherwise, you roll forward, rounding your back, roll over your toes, uncoil into upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Not the hearts. Once again, come forward, round your back, tuck the chin in, hips to the hands, and then head up and high. Back into downward facing dog. One more time. Roll over your toes. Push the heart up between your shoulder blades. Send your heart forward now, right through the rib basket, rib cage, and the back. The other way. Downward facing dog. From here, lift the heels, bend the knees, lift the hands. Bring your feet forward, softly, walking or hopping. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Bring the hands back to the heart. Take a deep breath in from the heart up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all beings everywhere. And release the hands. So now I'm going to go into some standing poses. Start off with some balance poses. So start off with tree pose. Bring the right foot up and press the foot against the thigh. So it can go anywhere. It doesn't have to be right at the roots if you can't get it up there, but just maybe not against the knee itself. Lower or higher, and if you have trying to balance, just keep your foot on the ground. If you're more advanced and more flexible and you want to do Padmasana, you can. So bring the foot in half lotus with the foot to hip crease. Bring your hands to the heart, and from here you raise your arms up over the head, nice and high. Lift up to the chest. If you can look up. Root down through your toes like they're the roots of your tree. Just keep reaching up as though you're trying to absorb the light and warmth of the sun to make yourself even more resplendent in your offerings. Now from here, I'm going to bring your arms out to the side, bring the right knee up as high as you can, and cross the right leg over the left. If you twist a little bit to your left and really push the outside knee against the knees together, you might be able to hook the foot around the standing leg. If it doesn't hook, don't worry, just keep your foot out like that. Okay, then your left arm passes over top the right. The forearms press together, palms together, and then you can sink down a little bit lower. Try not to lean forward too much. Good. Be like an eagle who's ready to take flight. And press back up and release. Try it on the other side now. Starting off in tree. Bring your foot into position wherever you like to have it. Really press the base of the toes, the heel, and the toes to pads into the thigh for balance. Fix your gaze on a point. Something that doesn't move is always better for balance. And then bring your arms up. If you have the balance, you can look up. Reach up. Be tall and sturdy like a tree. Unbothered by the wind, trying to sway it, just remain supreme, steady in all aspects of your life. Everything happens for a purpose to help us learn and evolve. From here, release the foot, take the knee up as high as you can, so that when your leg comes across, it makes it easier to bind your knees. Your right knee is a little bit high, is as high as you can on the thigh, and you hook the foot by turning to your right a little bit. And then from here, the right arm over the left. Elbows out in front. Sink down if you can. Work the hips. Feel the root being stimulated here as you squeeze the legs together. Try to get your elbows and shoulders in the same line. From here, release, come back up. Great, so now we're going to go to the back of the mat. Bring your arms up over the head. Like you're branching a sword. Warrior 3 to start. Take your left foot forward, hinge at the hips. And then bend into your left knee, bring the right leg up. Try to have a straight line from the toes to the fingertips. Be straight as a spear. If you need to, you can bring your fingertips down to the ground as you're trying to find a balance. And if you can't, take your hands in front, take them out to the side like an airplane. Just, again, do whatever is suitable for your abilities. Just try your best. Find where your edge of potential is. Now you can stay here, or you can come down a little bit so your belly comes towards your thigh. Soften the left knee a little bit. Take arms out to the side like the great wingspan of a great bird, an eagle. Imagine you're a gliding eagle skimming the surface of an ocean. Try to get the right leg up higher, higher than the head even. Arch your back. The head about the height of the knee. Now press into the left foot and come back up. other side now. Visualize yourself in the body of what you're representing. Arms come up high, take a right foot forward, hinge at the hips, bend the right knee, and send the left leg up and back. Try to get your foot up at the height of the hip. Engage your core muscles. Imagine you're lying on a table. Now you can stay here. If you want to go further, gliding eagle. Again, take any variation you like here. You can keep your fingertips on the ground even. Left leg comes up higher, chest forward, the head about the height of the knee. Feels like you're plunging down from a great height at great speed, just like an eagle does, and it's soaring on the wind. And then press into your right foot and come back up. Good. All right. So now we're going to come back to the back end. Actually, come to the middle of the mat. Facing on the long edge of the mat. Bring your index finger, your tips of your fingers together, and then jump your feet out. Coming to what looks like a star. And then look to your left, Virabhadrasana 2. Sink your seat down. The more you sink your seat down, when your hand comes down, your fingers will touch the ground. Again, do according to your condition of your hips. Try and make sure the knees align with the heel, not popping inwards. Bring the right hand up to meet the left, turn forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Allow the head to go back behind your arms. And straight line from the base of the spine right up to the fingertips. If you can't turn your hip, if your hip is still stuck turned, you can turn, lift the back heel up. You have to push through the back heel and get nice and strong. Stay formidable and fierce like the warrior. Always ready to do their service. And now lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. So we have a few options here. You can place your hands and place your fingers, push into the knee, and push against the knee, lean away from the leg. Allow the head to fall back. Drop back so the back of the head is just cushioned between the shoulder blades. Make sure you don't sink, sag down. Try to lift the body up out of the hips. Curl the tail under. Now a few options here. If you're more advanced, you can take the fingertips on the side of the hips. If your seat's all the way down, your fingers will be able to come down more easily. And then bring the back foot up, so you might be able to even touch your foot might be able to find the head. Imagine you have a sock against the back of the knee and you're just trying to squeeze that knot and keep that sock in place. If you find a balance, you can bring your arms up. It's called chain pose. Now it's just inaccessible, you can't get your leg up. Keep your leg down. If you like, however, you can bring your arms up. Kapiyasana. We did this in the warm-ups. Rock the shoulders back and forth. Try to get your arms back behind your ears. Lift the chest and reach. If you look back behind, you might be able to see your index fingers on the back toe. If it's too uncomfortable, you keep your head up. And then pull yourself back up. Press into the front knee and push yourself more upright. So your left foot is, you move it closer, bend the toes under on the back foot. Your legs are like a box here. Right arm goes up. And from here, take your hand to the outside of the knee, your other hand to the sacrum. Inhale, push the seat in, pull it down at the same time. And lift the chest on the inhale, turn to look over your left shoulder on the exhale. If you have the reach, you can lean back a little bit, take your left hand to your heel and push the knee and the heel toward, as though you're trying to push it towards the right. At the same time, you're turning your body to your left. Look beyond your left shoulder. This is very easy for you. Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. I'm going to do it this way so you can see. Right arm comes up, ankle the toe and knee towards the right. And get the arm down as much as you can so the arm is sitting on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into the right. You can even do a fist if that gives you more power. Now as you push the left hand down straight into the right, the body comes up higher, the belly is higher than the thigh. And then keep pushing against the outside of the knee and keep trying to rotate your chest towards the ceiling, towards the right first and then eventually up. So you pull the left hip back, the crown head forward, length on the inhale, exhale, turn a little bit more. Try to have your center of the chest coming towards your thumbs. If you know how to take the bind, go ahead. You can make sure your elbows in the space underneath your knee, and then push your seats back. Use your left hand to guide the hand underneath the leg, so it's on the inside of the leg, but just against the belly. Left arm goes over the back. Lock your fingers together or hold the wrist. Left wrist with your right hand. Left shoulder moves all the way back. If you want, you can take your knee up off the ground. Hold your breath. Push into the base of the right toes and lift the knee up. Keep turning, tugging on your wrist if you have it. Left shoulder goes all the way back. And then from here, break the pose. Bring the right knee back down, turn forward. Walk your hands, bring your hands to the inside of the foot and walk your left foot out to your left. Now you want to just fall to the right here. See if you get the right hip to come right down. Perhaps the forearm will come down as well. Then roll to your left side. Try to get your left forearm down. Now sink through the seat. Imagine having a big weight resting right on top of your seat, and it's spreading its way all the way down the body, the trunk of the body. Eventually the hips are anchored down, the pelvis comes down, the belly, eventually maybe the chest. So imagine hand of God just on the back of your heart, just encouraging you to melt underneath God's touch. Eventually the chest comes right down. Those you know variations, go ahead. Your shoulders right beside your foot, your body's on the ground, your chest is on the ground. Left arm can come around in front of the left foot, underneath the knee, from the outside, and over your back. Fix your gaze like a lizard. Sun yourself on a warm earth. If you try to imagine where that being is at rest, you put yourself in that place, eventually you might find to ease yourself. From here, release, come back onto the hands. Do this way here. Bend the toes under, lift the back knee, and then spin on your feet facing the long edge of the mat again. Come out of cup. Go to the other side. Turn to the right, and then if you need to, turn around 180 degrees if you can't see the camera anymore. Into warrior two. Sink down to the seat. Exude the strength, the confidence, and the leadership of a warrior. Into warrior one. Left hand comes up to meet the right. Turn your chest forward. Take the head behind your arms. Look up to the point of the sword. Pose says, I'm yours. Take me. Grant me higher devotion. Again, if you need to, lift the back heel up. If you can't turn the hip all the way, if your hip is stuck, turned to the left. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Place your hands on the knee and lean back away from the leg. Pull your body back, allow the head to drop back if you feel comfortable, do so. Seek your seat right down. So the other advantage of having your seat all the way down is that the pressure won't be quite on the knee. It will be a little bit in front of the knee. If you need to, however, you can always roll over your mat and just place your knee on the cushion part, okay, the extra layer of mat. If you want, take your fingertips on the side of the hips. If your hips are right down low, bring your foot up. You can use your hand even if you can reach for the knee. Guide the foot to your head. You're getting there, close. Get the balance, bring your hands up. Option, Kapyasana. Keep your leg on the ground. Bring your arms up. And move your arms back behind the ears if you can, or rock the shoulders back and forth. Keep your arms straight, elbows close to the ears. Break the pose. Lean forward, bring your hands onto your knee and rise up again. Hips and shoulders in the same line. Bend the toes under in the back foot for balance. The legs are like a box. Left arm up, take the hand to the outside of the knee, right hand to the seat. Push into the seat, pull down at the same time. As you're turning, inhale. Press in, lift the lower back. Exhale. Turn more to the right. If you can, lean back and take your hand to the heel. Make sure you don't fall into your hips. Stay upright, stay long through the spine. If this is at your edge, you stay there. Otherwise, Parivita Parsvakonasana. Left arm up. Go to the outside of the leg again. Have the arm sitting right on the leg, the outside of the leg. Right hand on the left. You want to push into your hand so your hand doesn't stay stuck near the shoulder. You have to push firmly into the left hand so the body rises up. The body's over the thigh, center of the chest comes to your thumbs, and then you start to turn. Peel the right shoulder all the way back, turn the face and chest up. If you're taking a bind, again, move your seats back, give them more room. Make sure your elbow is nice down low, your arm is sitting on the leg so you can get your arm through a little bit more easily. Lock the fingers or hold the left, right with your left hand. And then come up off your left knee if you can. If you're working this variation, really tug on a wrist. Try to get the right shoulder all the way back. Release. Now come back down with your hands on the ground on the inside of the foot. Walk your right foot out a little bit more. And then fall to your left. Left forearm comes down, perhaps. And then roll to your right. See if the right forearm comes down. If you can't get your elbows down, don't worry about it. Just keep your hands up. Keep telescoping your chest forward. The more you extend forward, the more the body will go lower and lower. Eventually, the pelvis comes down, followed by the belly. Just allow your heart to melt between your shoulder blades, and maybe your belly will come down more easily. Get the sensation that you've got a big magnet attached to your hips, front of your hips, and it's just pulling you down. The rest of the body will eventually follow. You can take the bind if you're flat down on the ground again. Be like a lizard, just sun yourself on a warm earth. Fix your gaze, look straight ahead without blinking. Now release. Come back onto the hands. Bend the toes on the back knee and lift the knee up and spin back towards the long edge of the mat. Arms out to the side and come up. Good. So I'm going to do this way so you can see. Easy Chakrasana. Pull the heels in a little bit so that the toes are pointing out. You're going to just imagine you're sitting on a horse. Bring your knees, bend your knees so your toes come over your knees come over your toes. Place your hands on the seat and then start to slide the hands down the seat so you're pulling this as we're trying to pull the tail down and under. And then keep your knees forward over your toes. If you feel comfortable, bring your head back. Do it nice and slow. If you want to keep your hands on the seat, you can keep your hands on the seat. Push into the seat and pull down at the same time. Or slide one hand down at a time, down just below the knees. Now grip firmly underneath the knees and roll the right thighs in. Roll the thighs inwards and roll the thighs outwards and the shins inwards. And keep pressing with your heels, your palms, so you can keep your hips forward but straighten your legs. So keep pushing the backs of your legs into your heels, your palms, and vice versa. If you're very flexible, you might be able to slide your hands even further Some of you might be willing to step on your heels, step on your hands with your heels. According to your condition and your abilities again. And then walk your hands back up the legs one at a time. If you're on lower than the seat, push into seat, pull down, and come back up. Now, pull the heels up a little bit so the edges of your feet are parallel. Arms up to the side. Hinge forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Slide your hands down the shins. If you're if you can place your fingers underneath your feet. Press down with the edge of the feet. And then see if you can get the top of the head to the ground, maybe even through a little bit further. Try to get your head in the same line as your feet. If you're very flexible, go even further. Try to get the back of the head in line with your heels and your chest behind your legs. Lift the shoulders. Push your chest forward, your shoulders back. Now inhale, come back here. Here, place your hands in front. And you have a few options here. You can either walk forward and bring your knees down onto the ground, coming into frog, and then see if you can get your seat down to slide down between your knees. Okay, or bring your seat back a little bit more. It's more of a stretch. Try to get your seat in line with your heels. Be mindful with your stretching. Don't go to a place of pain and suffering and anxiety and distresses. It's not what you want to transmit. If you're more flexible, you slide your feet right up to the sides and try to come down all the way. And according to your abilities. If you can even come down with your chest on the ground. Just work progressively towards your edge in a mindful way. Always try to be willing to come to the edge of your potential so that you keep redefining that edge and you make progress. If you don't make progress, you lose your enthusiasm and then you fall off the wagon. So you just keep with your constant practice. Now we're going to come back. If you're in this side splits, push into your hands, hinge, lean forward a little bit, and you walk one foot in a little bit until you're at a couple of distance. You can walk your feet back. Arms up to the side and come up. One more easy chakrasana. Pull your heels in and then go back. Push your hips forward, bend your knees first, over your toes. If your head is close to the ground, you can see the ground easily. Again, those who are comfortable can even go into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Make sure your head's close enough to the ground so that when you reach down with your hand, you can find it easily. And then the other hand comes down. Again, as Dharma Ji says, for professionals. Be mindful of the risks that you take. Know what your abilities are, what your limitations are. Come back, you bring one hand to the back of the knee, push your hips forward as much as possible, push into the back of the knee so you can get your other hand on the leg easily, and then you walk your way back up. Everybody can do this now. Push all the way back up. Then arms out to the side. Jump your feet back together. Good. So walk to the back of the mat here. And as Dharma Ji likes to do, sometimes it just falls into plank. So again, if you're uncomfortable doing that, come onto your knees first and fall from there. If you feel comfortable, you can do it from standing, push into reach your toes. And then, so make sure you don't have any wrist issues. Okay, so from here, bring your seats back, downward facing dog, Vasisthasana. Move your left hand more to the right in front of your nose and spin. Your right leg will cross in front of the other one. Push your chest forward and your hips forward. Make sure you don't fall into your shoulder. Keep your left arm extended and your neck long. You can stay here Actually, we'll stay here for this one. Push your hips forward. If you need to modify, just bring your left knee down and open up this way. Okay. And then go to the other side. Back to plank position, into downward facing dog. I like to do that just because get your seat higher and you can hold the pose a little bit more easily. And then your shoulder comes in and your hand comes in alignment, but you need to stay firm on your right arm. Try not to drop into your shoulder, into your side plank, hips up. And from here, back into plank, into down facing dog. And here you can do one more round, the same one if you like, or a variation, maybe wilding, or maybe into something different here. Left hand in front here, in front of your nose. Turn to the right, shorten your base a little bit, drag your left foot in, and then slide your right toes back. Push into your toes, and this will help you to rotate your chest and your hips up. So make sure the base of the big toe is flat on the ground. Again, make sure your left arm is strong. And then if your base of the big toe of the left foot's on the ground, it makes it easier to take your right knee up. All your weight is on the right hand, left hand and left foot. If you have the reach, you can take hold of the foot. And then return. Bend the toes back down to the ground. Spin on the heel of your palms, back into down facing dog, go to the other side. So you actually, again, move the right hand towards the left a little bit, spin like you were doing your Vasisthasana start, push your hips forward, and then slide your left toes back. Keep spinning on your hand, move the right foot in a little bit, make sure the base of the big toe is grounded, and then move your hips forward so your shoulder's a little bit behind your hand. So you're very strong on the left foot, nicely, firmly rooted down. Same with your right hand. Your hip is high, and then you can take your left knee up a little bit more easily, so it's weightless. You take your knee, if you have the reach, you can take hold of the foot. I almost want to lock the right knee. Then release. Bring the toes back down, and then spin back into downward facing dog. Lower the knees down into child's pose. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove all fatigue, all struggles, whatever level they're on, mental, physical, or emotional. Free yourself of all the obstacles that prevent you from really embracing the practice to your full extent. Now come back up to seated. Headstand, Shilshasana, king of the postures. If you know how to go into headstand by yourself, go ahead. If not, we can offer you some options here. So first, if you're very uncomfortable with inversions, you just keep your forehead on the ground in front of your knees, and then just lift your seat up. Try to get your seat over the knees as much as possible. If it's too much pressure or strain on the back of the neck, just move your head forward. Now if you want, you can place your hands. I like to have my finger stands personally like this. Your fingers facing away, your palms facing towards you, and really press into your fingertips. Tent your hands so the palms are lifted. Equally distanced fingers. Lift your seat and walk your feet towards you. Okay, so options here, you can lift your seat as much as you can and see if you can get your knees just underneath the knees against your elbows. Just like that. And then if you push into your fingertips into the top of the head, hold your breath. You might just pull your toes away from the ground. Eventually you can maybe bring your feet up if you feel comfortable. If you don't like the tent hands, you bring your hands flat to the ground. Make sure they're not beside your head. They should be in front where you can see them, the arms at 90 degrees. Okay, so you can do it this way too. Another option here, if it's too much pressure for your head. Those of you who are in headstand, keep your attention on the space between your eyebrows. Stay there, leave the body by itself. So other option, take hold of your opposite elbows. Make sure you can hold them easily. They should be underneath your shoulders, no wider. Don't move your elbows. Bring your hands forward, interlace your fingers, and place your head between your palms. And lift up here. And you can walk your feet towards your elbows as we did before, and just pulse up and down on both the heels. And come back down. Then you can take one leg up. Have the foot hanging towards your seat behind you. Flex your foot, keep your foot active. And if you squeeze the heels or palms against the head and push into your forearms, hold the breath. Maybe you'll be able to bend the toes away, flick your toes away from the ground, and you're up. So again, squeeze the heels or palms against your head. Lift up a little bit more, lift the right heel as much as possible. Allow the left foot to dangle, or the back foot to dangle down as much as possible. And just pull your toes away from the ground. As you become more comfortable, you can bring your left foot back, your back foot back a little bit more, your forward foot up so your heels, your feet are around the same height as the hips, in line with one another. Good stuff, everybody. Beautiful. And come back down. Rest in child's pose. Just imagine you can see yourself in the form. Just try to realize that vision. Use your imagination to imagine yourself in that practice. Even if you can't attain it, just keep practicing. One day perhaps the body will obey. Now come up and then into shoulder stand. So scooch right to the front of the mat. So you have all the mat behind you. And then the easiest way again is just roll back. Use your momentum and roll back. Your feet come behind your head. And then see if you can join your hands together behind your back. This will get your elbows closer. Okay, so wiggle your shoulders a little bit. And then place your hands on your back, mid-back, and then see if you can raise your legs up. If it's too much to raise your legs all the way, you can keep your knees just above your forehead, or you can just have your legs at an angle. So just allow your seat to be resting in your hands. However, eventually you want to try to have it so that you're in a straight line from your toes all the way down to the chin. So really push into your back. Try to get your hands a little bit higher. So the heels, the palms come closer to your neck. And then your hips are forward, so your knees, toes, chin are all in the same line. If you have a lotus, go ahead. You can do your lotus. They say that in lotus you can find one point in the mind more easily. If you're right on top of your shoulders and shoulders stand, you can feel free, or if your legs are straight up even, try to have your hands on your thighs. If you're lotus, try to get your knees higher than your hips. Keep rising up tall through your knees. Nothing to do, nowhere to go deeper within. All the attention at the space between the eyebrows. Now slowly, mindfully, if you have a lotus, keep a lotus. You do Pindasana. If you have a full embryo pose, you wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands underneath your seat. If you don't have a lotus, hands to the back and come down into plow pose. Bring your feet behind the head. If your feet don't touch down, you can just maybe encourage by pressing into the lower back a little bit with your hands and see if your hips can come further over your shoulders so that your feet come down more easily. You can also just bring your thighs against your chest and your knees on either either side of the head, on the shoulders. Withdraw from your senses.
Getting ready to come out. Listen carefully. Place your hands behind your back. On the ground, palms down, index fingers and thumbs together. Keep your legs close to the body as you come down. And as soon as the seat comes down onto your hands, bring your legs down a little bit more until they're about halfway down. And then lift your upper body up. So stay there for a moment and then scoot your elbows in a little bit more. Try to get your elbows behind your heart. Charge the legs. Push your chest up if you have to do so. Bring the top head down. If it's too much, you bring your legs all the way down to the ground. Now, option here again to go a little bit further, slip your hands out from underneath, bring your hands over your thighs, same line as your legs, hands together. Fast streak of breath. Breathe very fast through the nose like a sniffing dog. Break the pose, bring the feet down, just in front of your seat, edge of the feet in line with your hips. So option here, bring your fingertips on the ground beside your head, fingers facing away from you. Lift your seat up so you're on the top of the head, just your top of your head and your feet on the ground. Slide your head back a little bit further towards your feet and turn your hands around so the fingers are facing towards the feet. And then a little bit out to the side. You can stay here or take a half breath in and come up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. You can lift your heels up as well. Play a little bit in the pose. If this was all too much, you just stay in your bridge pose. So come down with your hips. Lift your chest and your seat up. Keep the back of the head and the tops of the shoulders on the ground. Okay, so it's like this pose here. Those of you in Urdhva Dhanurasana can rock back and forth if you like. Stretch, try to get your arms and legs straighter. Look like an arch on a building. Getting ready to come down. Softly. Don't wait until you have to know the balance. So the practice is an ideal balance between strength and drive and effort, and softness and surrender. So don't go to the point where you're just going to fall out of the pose, crash to the ground. Just come out when you need to so that the descent, the exit, and the entry are as graceful as the hold. So now just lie on your back for a moment, take a deep breath in. Exhale, imagine you fainting, just let go of all tension in the body. Again, inhale. Feel as though you're being flooded by light and energy coming in through the pores of the skin. Exhale. Flood it, the whole body with that energy and light. Feel rejuvenated and recharged. Now we're going to stay on the mat, on the back. Slide your left foot in if you need to. And then raise your right leg up. Bring your knee to the shoulder, the right knee to the shoulder. Hold the ankle and try to pull the foot towards the head. If at this point you feel like you can straighten your left leg again, then go ahead. Keep extending through that left heel. Pull the foot towards the head. If you're very flexible, you might be able to slip your leg to the outside, just against the shoulder, the outside of the shoulder. The knees more or less in the armpit, and then some of you might be able to get your foot right to the ground. From here, half happy baby pose, bend the knee, and then bring your knee down to the ground again beside your body, underneath the arm. And then fold the leg across the chest for pigeon. So it looks like upside down pigeon. Depending on flexibility, you might be able to pull the foot right to the crook of the arm and bring your shin right down on your chest. Close to the throat, your heel on the same line as the knee. Modify as you need to. You might be able to drop the heel a little bit towards the hip. Good. And then from here, back into half happy baby pose. Slide your left foot in, move the right shoulder in front of the knee, and push into the back knee. Try to get your knee up higher, close to the ear. You can bring your left knee right into your shoulder. Lift your upper back up the mat. If you push the foot back behind and tug it to your left and peel your shoulders up off the ground, tuck your chin in, you might be able to eventually get your leg behind your head. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just keep working the different modifications that we've been exploring to go a little bit deeper, bit by bit, breath by breath, and soothe the body. Before you know it, might be in the poses. No attachment to the results though. Just keep trying. Keep the effort steady. Release, let's slide. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax. Let go of all fatigue. Now bring the right foot in. Just as we did before. Raise the left leg up, bring the knee to the shoulder and pull on the foot, trying to get the foot closer to the head. At that point, if you like, you can extend your right foot straight out in front. Pull the foot down, closer to the head. Stretch back the leg, take your attention to all areas where you feel tight, that's where the prana will go. Then from here, if you are very flexible again, you can take your foot down. Slip the leg to the outside of just up to the outside of the shoulder, the knee in the armpit. See if you can bring a foot down on the ground. And then bring the leg up, the heel over the knee, and then across the chest for upside down pigeon. If you can, you bring your foot to the crook of the arm. Here to half happy baby pose. See if you can get your left shoulder in front of the knee and push into the back of the knee upwards so the knee comes close to the ear. Slide the right foot in, you can bring the knee right in towards the shoulder. And then peel your shoulders up off the mat, push your foot back further towards the ground, pull it towards your right, and then bring your head up as high as you can so you can bring your head in front of the foot. Again, do all the different preparation poses if you're not there yet. Just offer the best that you can. And release. Bring the weight back down. Breathe in. Breathe out, relax. Come to seated position now. Good. Cross your ankles and come up on your knees. Starting off with rabbit pose, bend the toes under. And from here, place your hands on the seat, engage your core and your thighs as you go back. And then place your right hand on your right heel and left hand on your left heel. Bring your heels together if you can. Your toes can stay wide, up and apart. And just lock your baby fingers together. You can bring your thumb to the inside of the heels and your index fingers to the outside. And then hinge forward. Try to make it so you're about to fall onto your thighs. Don't fall forward. Stay rooted down, pushing the base of the toes and push your heels back. Head up. And chest and back, sort of chest up and head back. And from here, lean back, shoulders go behind the feet, and then one hand to the seat and the other hand, and push your way back up. Good. Now from here, you can either do the same thing or flatten the toes. Lean back in, anchor down through the shins and the tops of the knees, the tops of the feet. Hinge back, engage your thighs, and bring your right hand to your right heel, foot. left hand, left foot. And then push your hips forward. Again, you can do rabbit pose again if you can't reach your heels. You can even keep your hands on the seat. Okay, so you can do this pose. Push in the seat, pull down. Concentrate on having just your hips over your knees, over your knees, and then allow your head to go back. Try to get your chest the highest point. And then tuck your chin in. Hands back on the seat one at a time. Hinge your seat down onto your heels. And forehead down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Now, I'll show if you can do one of those poses again. Be more flexible and strong. You can try to come down to your hands on the mat. So, you bring your hands up. I like to press my hands together. So bend at the elbows, bring your hands behind your head. Spread your fingers and really press your hands together. Now, lean back. You have to anchor down to the shins, the tops of the feet. Lean back. Justine, get your fingers to the ground. And from here, bring your head back a little bit. Bring your hands down. You can either stay like this, with your hands, or see if you can walk your fingers towards your toes and see if you can get your elbows down. Okay, so that is one option of getting in. If you're having trouble doing that, you can do it with one hand. So bring one arm up, extend it, other hand to the elbow, keep it close to the head, and lean back, bend your hand down, keep your hand strong so your hand finds the ground a little bit more easily perhaps. And then take your other hand to the ground. You can even hold the edges of the mat. And then stay like this. Or move into your Kapotasana if you like. So do whatever variation you like. Remember, camel or rabbit are always options. Okay, you can bring your fingers to your toes if you can. And try to get your elbows down. Now from here, to break the pose, if you've got the strength, you can come right back up, push into your fingertips, throw your hips forward. So you have to really push through your thighs, imagine you're being pulled up by a string, come up. Or you just come down to your back like you would for coming down from Urdhva Dhanurasana. Now if you came back up, or if you're in camel or a rabbit, come into child's pose. Rest your belly on your thighs. Forehead on the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Remember to move according to condition. Always keep the practice sacred and offering. You do the best, not with intention of hurting yourself, but with giving the best yourself. Then you'll practice mindfully. Back up. So an offering don't have any ill effects, right? So bring your legs out. all-encompassing. You can fold the left leg under if you like, and the right foot comes to the outside of the left knee. Your left foot is on the outside of the hip. Make sure you're not sitting on your foot. If you can't get both sides of the seat down easily, just keep your left leg long and bring your right foot a little bit forward beyond the knee. Toes close to the ankle. Right hand behind the back, left arm up. Reach up and take your form against the thigh. Keep pushing the elbow against the knee against the elbow. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. Start the twist at the base of the spine. Rise up tall. Imagine you can see right through the skin and the spiraling action of the spine, turning around its axis. If your legs extend, keep it active. Make sure it's not going lazy, foot falling onto the side or anything, the toes pointing up. Stay present, stay engaged in every way.
It's an offering you want to look enthusiastic and fully present, so as to please the Supreme Witness who's watching. And come back, switch legs around. So if you're doing a folded version, a full version, your right leg folds is underneath, your right foot beside your left hip, and your right foot on the outside. And I'll do this version this time, otherwise modify if you need to. Do the same pose as you did on the other side. Now if you have the legs folded, you can take hold of the, if you like, you can take hold of the heel with your right hand and just pull against the heel. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn towards your left. Revolve your body around your arm that's behind you. If you know other binds, go ahead. You might be able to snake your arm underneath the leg and join your hands behind the back. Also an option. Do what is suitable for you that brings you to your edge of your potential again. And release. Now make your way onto your back. Shavasana. Ease your way down on your back. No big hard landings again. And once you're on the back, allow your legs to open up a little bit so your feet are beyond the edges of the mat. Your feet are falling outwards. Your arms about a foot and a half, about a foot or so away from the body. Hands on the outs, beyond the edges of the mat as well. Palms facing up, making a gesture of receiving. And then just allow the whole body to sink down. Feels very, very heavy. Take a deep breath in. Gather up all the tension in your body, in the muscles, everywhere it resides. Exhale, just drop it right out of the body. In an instant, feel the body becoming heavy, having had released all your strength in the muscles as well. Just feel as though everything were just sinking down, melting into the ground. So heavy. Take another inhale in, gather up any more tension that you have, physical tension, and any mental anxiety or anything or negative emotions that you are feeling. Gather it all up, and on the exhale, just allow it to funnel right out of the body, right out of your being. One more time. Inhale. Bring in everything that you want to be rid of altogether. Gather it all up, all the tension, all the negativity. Exhale, just funnel it right out of the body, be rid of it. Then on the next inhale, now that you're more spacious, you let go of all that baggage, all that clutter. Inhale, bring in the best, everything that you need. Once again, just as we did begin the class. Bring in all the benefits that are coming to you as a result of offering up your practice, all the gifts of the practice. Exhale, send it right to this spiritual heart, and from there, feel it just spreading out to all beings everywhere. 2 more times. Inhale. Bring in the best, everything that you need, which is everything ultimately what we all need. Bring it to the spiritual heart. So in the exhale, it gets distributed to all beings everywhere. And one last time, inhale. Pull in all the gifts of the practice, everything that you need. And exhale. From spiritual heart, it goes everywhere to all beings. You no need to look anywhere else but within to find divine love. It's sitting there right in our heart as a result of God sitting there. You need to not go anywhere but inward to just find the answers. The inner guru is within. Now make an intention of just staying in that mindset, the benevolent mindset, offering up everything, making everything an offering, including everything you do in your day-to-day life. Repeat yourself the following sentence 3 times to ingrain that in your mind and heart. I am becoming increasingly compassionate towards all beings. Through the practice, we cultivate a reverence and a deep, deep, unconditional love towards all beings. So keep up with that, and then watch your practice flourish. So now make your way back to seated position. Prepare to exit Shavasana. We'll close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it out to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God, all is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.